a good test to see for like the actual debate.
Right.
As well. All right. So we have all of the articles that we have together. Mm-hmm. And I saw everybody did a really good job like typing up good summaries for each. So I guess we can start taking the information that we pulled from and then just start creating the outline.
Okay.
Do you want me to create another like Google kind of like online Google Word document? That way everybody can contribute, or does somebody want to take the reins on that and kind of start combining some of it? I think it might be good to have it open that everybody can work on it maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, we could just use the same one from before.
Yeah, we could use that one and we can just do it underneath all of the articles.
Right. You don't have to turn it in or anything.
Right.
We do have to turn in the article. We do have to turn in the outline.
Outline, yeah.
On Sunday.
But not like the article reviews and stuff.
Is there a template for the outline somewhere?
There was one.
That's a good question.
There was, okay, I'm trying to.
Let me see. That's a really good question.
Under like the original explanation for it, there was like, I'm trying to find it now. The debate project, or no, sample debates, online ethical debate research project. Oops. I don't remember where I found it.
I see the example, like I see the debate example. I'm wondering if it would be
right or debate assignment.
I didn't see an outline, but I mean I could have missed it also.
Yeah, those are examples of debate.
The top one that says debate assignment .doc, I think, is what I was looking for.
Let me pull it and see. Let me open it up and see if it's on there.
Okay. Because it lists all the different roles that there are. Like for the formal debate, there's all these different roles, and then it says like, it basically just says like pro, con, like we could just go in order and each write what we would say for those different parts if we decided on who's going to be what part. That's what I was kind of understanding. Like the formal debate kind of made more sense to me than the informal one. But
say that again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
The formal one kind of made more sense to me than the informal one.
Informal one, okay.
With the different, like the stater, the prover, attacker, moderator. I don't know.
Yeah, does somebody have a preference for one or the other?
I don't have a preference.
I don't either.
I don't really either, so this is good. So the informal one is more of like a discussion, I think, then yeah, it's more like of a conversation than informal. I feel like we might want to go with the formal one because I feel like even if we did a discussion, I feel like this is our first time doing this. It's going to seem really formal.
Right.
As I've seen like from the examples on YouTube that I've seen thus far.
Right.
So I maybe would go for formal.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does other people feel about that?
I think that's probably a better idea.
Probably a better idea. Okay. Stacey, how do you feel about formal? Good. I think she muted her microphone.
Sorry, I was muting it. Okay, I was reading through the outline instructions to see kind of what the expectations were. And it basically just says there is no template. Like we just make it up and individualize it to our group as long as it works for us and it has all the points that are in the exceed standards column, then I mean there isn't anything specifically that the format should look like.
Right.
But the formal debate is fine with me. Like the more structure, I feel like the easier it'll be on us to kind of put it together.
So I'm sending, it was this little part that I kind of looked at thinking of it. I just sent it in the Hangouts, but like we obviously couldn't do the response to the the attacks, but we could write out like the points that we're going to make, and then if we tell each other what our points are, we could come up with like what attacks we think. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just kind of use that as like the outline. That's how I was
Yeah.
thinking of it.
Yeah.
But I'm open to anything else too. That is
That's
just
a good
what
idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think like if we go through and make our points for pro and con, like an outline, then like you said, we can go back through and kind of type in the attacks against those statements.
Yeah, and we'll still have like more proof and research stuff to like present when it actually comes up, so we won't know
Mm-hmm.
everything necessarily, but
Yeah. I think that'll be good.
so from each side there's 3 people. So like if someone's I forgot what the first one was. But like there's a stater and a prover.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull it up. I can read it. So for the formal one, yeah, we have the stater, the person who will be primarily responsible for stating the position taken by the group.
So maybe like the moderator and the stater could be the same person, because I don't.
There's like not enough people,
Yeah.
is there?
Right.
Yeah.
But they kind of seem similar to me.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Keeping time and like making sure each side gets to talk. But I don't see having a problem with that really, if we really have it all planned out.
Yeah.
Right.
And the stater would like state the position. The prover would bring up the research and background stuff that supports it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side's attacker would come in. And then we would kind of switch and do it the other way.
So does the stater like state like the pro or con, like for the whole position in the group, and then the
Yeah, I
attacker
think
comes
so.
in and kind of goes against it?
I think so. And I think if we came up with like, or like if each of us had a specific argument we were going to cover, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 6 of us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks like there's 6 positions open. I mean, technically 7, but I feel like the moderator doesn't really count because that's just the person it says like sends, does all that stuff. So,
Right.
I mean, you would just have 3 and 3. One person would be the stater, one person would be the, based on 3 people from the con, 3 people from the pro, and then we'd just have to decide who wants to do what, right?
Yeah, just kind of switch off talking like how it is with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just with introducing the stater or the moderator.
Right.
Introduction part isn't there at the beginning or the end, but
So should we just like put people's names next to like stater, prover, attacker for the pros and the cons? That way we know, like, does anyone care which one they do?
no.
I don't really, I'm not too particular.
Right.
Okay.
No, I feel like maybe like the salvaging undamaged arguments would be what we couldn't really include in an outline, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
we'd have to debate about.
Yeah.
Okay. So who all had like the pros?
I have pros.
I have pros.
Okay.
I had cons, but I don't remember who.
And I had cons. So do we just want to do the first 4 and then we can do 5 and 6 can be who is it? Diva and
Megan.
And Megan.
they can be the 5 and the 6.
Yeah,
That works.
I think that sounds good.
So like we could kind of get our arguments. So it's like, what if we want to just decide on what arguments we're going to make so we can work together on them? If one person's going to state and one person's going to prove.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you mean like break off into 2s and kind of like person states their pro and the person that con can come back with their argument?
yeah, or like if each person has like an argument from their article,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like
Well,
compile it together and then split up who says what.
to me, the way I'm looking at this almost looks like you would address it as you would like a research article. And so like the stater would be the person who would do the introduction. So they would say, you know, I really like technology for this patient, for this client population, because it provides this, 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 and this. Research has shown that, you know, there's this much improvement. And then they would just kind of summarize everything that all of our research has said and kind of pick out little points. And then when it comes to the, let's see, the prover would do more of the specifics, picking out points, the strongest points from each person's articles, and say, you know, put all the articles, the research stuff out. And then the attacker, it says, is the person who's going to go through and like, who would look through who would look through like the cons and see if there's weaknesses there. And then they would kind of shoot at that. So it looks like it would be something where we would break it up into like a research article where not necessarily we need to go back and forth on points, but one person takes like, we use all of our collective, like all the cons people would use all of our collective data and research to kind of formulate all of our different points. So it might be more worth it to have 2 separate Google Docs, one for the pros, one for the cons, to go ahead and start separating that data. It might be easier to do it that way, and then we can combine it into one document and turn it in as a total outline.
Makes sense.
Kind of reposition everything.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense.
I can start 2 new documents and invite you guys to share, and then we
Right.
can do a pro and a con. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think I might do also another document for like the signups, so that way Dava and Megan can see like who's doing what for the pro and con part of it.
Yeah.
That way they can see it as well.
Okay.
So we want to do, I'll title it pro argument. And then I can do another one, and I'll just share it with you guys.
You think that she wants like the attackers stuff already for the outline, or just like probably, I guess.
I'm not sure.
Write up our arguments, trade documents, look into like ways to discredit the other arguments, and write up how we're going to do that for the whole debate.
Will you say that one more time?
Like, so are we going to have our 2 separate documents where we write our arguments, then trade so that we can see each other's and kind of evaluate the research kind of thing? So we can have like attacking points put on the outline, or do we just need the arguments?
Yeah.
So the rubric says that we have to thoroughly cover the main points for the debate using specific and appropriate details, cover the structure of the debate, which is already outlined for us, so as long as we put that on there, and identify which group member has which roles, which we had talked about too. Outline thoroughly covers the content for the different sides of the topic, which we set up 2 Google Docs to kind of go through all that stuff and put it together. Appropriate details based on the literature. So we would have to cite all of that, obviously, and then the outline covers the use of visuals, which are appropriate for the topic, and thoroughly explains why the visuals were selected to support their points. So do we have any?
Nope.
I saw that she mentioned visuals, and I was like, I don't know what.
I guess we can. I've looked. I guess she needs PowerPoint to follow along, like in the background, like that we can reference in the debate.
Gotcha.
Because I've looked at some of the debates online on YouTube to get an example, and they sometimes will use like the backdrop of a PowerPoint
Mm-hmm.
as they're talking. and have kind of like made points on there. So maybe that's what she's referring to. That seems like.
So should we email her then to see if like, because like that is a whole section is visuals.
Mm-hmm.
And it says like the visuals to be used in the debate are not included or should I like email her for clarification on what exactly the visuals are that we are supposed to have?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I'm not exactly sure what she's referring.
Because I mean, it says we get 0 points if we don't have any visuals. So I'm like,
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure we could make up some kind of graphing information based off of the data and some of the articles, research articles, but.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the last one just says that we need 6 sources, which, I mean, there's 6 of us and each of us looked up at least 2, right? So we should
Right.
have at least 12.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of that.
So
Where
that's
did you
all of them. So as long as we figure out the visuals part, I think that the other things that we have kind of already set up with assigning group members, making sure that we have the debate lined up in the format that she has listed in the rubric and in the assignment document, then with good detail as to what we're all going to kind of discuss, then we should be able to get full points for the outline.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll email her now. That way we know kind of what she
Yeah, definitely.
rules.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And it's due Sunday, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So we still have some time to do it.
Yeah.
And then just so you guys know, next week I'm going to be on vacation, so I won't be able to meet next week. But if you just keep me in the loop on things, I'll.
Yeah, of course.
what
By
I
that
need-
point, I think by that point in time, I think we'll have a lot of things done,
Right.
so we can just kind of tweak it. We probably won't be doing a ton.
Yeah.
And I'm confused. Like, is it the way? So I've been looking at the different documents that she's been sending out regarding how we're doing the debate formats, and that we have to kind of watch and comment on different ones being submitted, and ours isn't due until like week 7, I think is what I saw. Does
Right.
that mean we don't record it until week 7, or we don't post it until week 7?
I have no idea.
I'm
That might be
I'm
another
also
question.
super confused. Like,
I think it's because like each week there's a discussion board that's based on one of the debates that got
Mhm.
submitted. So maybe they're just kind of like staggering when they get like submitted to the discussion board. We could probably record it sooner if we can and get it done with, you know.
I feel like if we already have everything ready to go, I don't think we have to wait until then. I bet we can record it and then we can just post it that week.
On that week, yeah.
That was my question too, because I'm going on vacation next week too, but not until Thursday. So I should be able to be at the meeting on Wednesday. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Yeah, we'll figure it out. That's something else we can also email her about. But I'm pretty sure that we could probably go ahead and record it. If we're ready for it. I don't see why we couldn't.
Right. I don't know if there's like a separate like place to submit the debate before it goes to the discussion board. You know, like if it's due separately and then we also have to post it in the
I
discussion.
think it's due. Yeah, I think it's due separately too. But I'm trying to look and see.
Trying to find when it's due.
Mm-hmm.
I know I read it at one point, but I don't remember.
right.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Okay, there's week 4, module 6. Hold on. Okay, it says that's when they're starting to be due is week 4, module 6. And it says
Right.
online ethical debate research project if assigned.
It's assigned, and then it says that every week.
Yeah.
Almost.
So I'm wondering if we actually don't have to turn it in until the week that we're assigned. But personally, if we're ready to do it, I don't see why we couldn't just go ahead and do it.
I would rather get it over with and then
Yeah.
to worry about it, even if it means it's done and we just don't turn it in, because it'll be one less thing to.
To worry about, yeah, for the class.
Right. Yeah.
I think that works good. Because I know, okay, so you two are going on vacation next week, so we might have to record it the week after, because we definitely need to get we're obviously gonna have to have everybody there. So
Right.
we're gonna have to find a date that works for everybody.
Maybe a couple weeks out then.
Yeah, I would say 2, maybe 3. I mean, I feel like after we do the outline, we just might need to practice once.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to have a practice. round.
Yeah, and then we can do the actual debate. But I feel like after the outline's done, we'll have a lot of our information together.
Right. And if we
So
have it all
it'll
figured
be
out,
too
like
much.
who's going to say what parts, then it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So we have a
emailed
plan.
her.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And I've started a couple different documents. So I did a pro argument document and a con argument document.
Okay.
And I'll share you guys on all of that. I just have to get all your emails in there. And then I also did the actual debate outline as a separate document too, so that we can combine all into one.
Okay.
And I copy and pasted the formal debate guidelines on there. That way we can see like the responsibilities and we can put our name next to each part of it. I mean, we can figure out how to incorporate that later but we don't want to keep all of that in there, but I just put it in there as a reference.
Okay.
So you guys can see it.
So just to clarify, so is what we're kind of doing is we're each being assigned what we are going to do, and then we're just going to make our own outline section and then submit it to our specific like con or pro document.
Yeah.
So we're going to use all the information that's already been submitted in the summaries to create these forms based on if we're the stater, the prover, or the attacker.
Yeah. And we can, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I think we just go through and pick out like the pro and con arguments that we picked out, because I know we had already started to pull some of that information last week, and take that and put those into those pro and con arguments, and then we can combine them into that one.
Okay.
So we're just gonna stick with like the articles that we used and kind of
Yes.
base it off of that.
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel like we're not going to be penalized, obviously, for having more than one article, like more than 6 articles. So
Right.
we can.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm confused. So
About what part?
yeah, about how we're going to combine this. Are we not doing like one person does like we kind of said before, like the introduction thing where we kind of summarize everything as the first one, and then the second one breaks down more points? Are we going to each person put in our own things for each section?
Or are we going to choose like an argument to write up? I see what you're saying. Like, are we going to choose our roles and then write up what we would say personally as that role?
As that role.
Or are we going to take the arguments from our own articles
And disperse them between the 3 things?
Yeah, and like if we each write up one argument and then later on we pick out which parts of each argument each person would say, that might work too.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many ways we can go about it. I'm trying to think of the best and easiest way.
Because I feel like what would end up happening if we're each picking arguments from our thing is that everyone's going to be putting all of their information under the prover one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one with all the specific information. And then
That's true.
whoever is going to be doing the attacker and the stater would have to just basically do twice the work, because they'd have to do the work for the prover, and then they'd have to take all the work from the prover to build their other arguments.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what if we each have one argument and then we write up basically like a statement and proof for it right now. Then we can trade with the other side, and then like each get one of those arguments to come up with the attacks on those. Like, would that work, do you think, to like evenly distribute the work? I see what you're saying. Like, if we just choose roles right now and just go over our articles, some people would be done then.
we can go ahead and pick the roles now
Okay.
if that works. Yeah, that might definitely help. Okay, so we have the stater goes first, so they will be the primarily responsible for staying position taken by the group. He or she will bring up point by point the issues inherent in each part of the argument. I prepared for an outline of the clouds that try to be appropriate.
I guess it would be, I don't know. Because yeah, you're right. It might be like easiest for like honestly the 3 people who are doing cons and the 3 people who are doing pros to kind of get together on their own time and pick out their own stuff and then create the prover thing, and then between the 3 people decide who's going to be each part. And then, but that's just like so much stuff to do within the span of like 4 days. That's the problem.
Because everybody would have to get together, yeah.
Yeah, because this is a condensed semester, so it kind of sucks. It would be nice if we could all have like a second meeting with just the people who are doing cons and just the people who are doing pros.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about and discuss all of this stuff and get it figured out. But I don't really know that that's feasible since we only have, 3 days basically until it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
We could always do that over chat too if we want to start separate chats. And just kind of be like, these were the arguments from my articles, what were yours? See if there's overlap and just kind of choose who's going to write up which arguments.
Yeah, because I feel like that might be easier, and then just go from there. If that makes sense, just to start different chats.
I think that's fine.
Side, and then because the Google Doc, not knowing, I honestly get on the Google Doc maybe like once or twice a day and do everything I need to do for it, so don't check it regularly, but the Google Hangouts things get sent directly to my phone, so it's constantly there and I can see it and communicate with people. So that would be easiest for me to kind of keep updated on what everybody else is doing, and they can kind of keep me updated as they're available to do their work, because I know we're all have like work full time most likely and have different schedules, and so we can all do homework at different times. So it might be like more realistic to do it on that, and then just set up a time like Friday at 8 p.m. all of our prover information needs to be completed. That way we can, between now and Sunday at noon, figure out what the stater and the other thing are, so we can turn it all in.
Yeah, and then we can add like some attack arguments too.
Yeah, as long as we have like everything, like as long as we have the prover stuff done by like Friday 6 or 8 p.m. and then we can formulate over the next day or so, day and a half, like the other 2 arguments, then we'd be able to combine them Sunday afternoon to turn it in on time.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a message on my So we decide that we're gonna probably do 2 separate chats. That way we can work on the prover statements, and then we'll come back. And we should. When did you say we want to have that ready by?
It doesn't matter to me. I feel like it shouldn't take that long for each of us to kind of pull out our main points. Like even if we wanted to do it by like tomorrow at like 9, since we've already read all of our articles and summarized them, it should be pretty easy for all of us to like put our main points together. So even if we wanted to do it by like tomorrow at 9 and then even have Saturday midday as when we want to have our other stuff filled out. So, I mean, just so we're not cutting it, you know, at 8 or 9 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
We could always do that, but as long as there's a timeline, because I feel like group projects usually work a little bit better when we have like due dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know, okay, who the
Okay.
other like pros and cons were between the other two members?
I was trying to look at the article summary log because I know that they put
Right.
either they were pro or con. Only one I can see for pro is Brittany and I. I thought there was somebody else who
I
had
think
pro.
Eva is pro also, but she
Who's
just
also-
didn't list what they were or
Who's
like what.
also, Elisa, you're also pro?
I'm pro. I'm Brittany though. I think that Devo was also pro, but I'm not sure.
I'm looking in here and I think that she was actually con.
Oh, okay.
I think that Elisa
Okay.
might have been
Yeah. Yeah, I
also
was con.
Oh.
I was
You were
con.
con. You were
I'm
con?
Elisa.
Yeah, it says Megan cons. So underneath
Yeah.
Megan's name, it says cons.
Okay, I see that. Okay. Maybe I'm trying to think. Let me bold it so I can see it a bit better. So did Megan indicate if she was pro or con? Because I see Megan's name and then I see con underneath it and then her 2 articles and then I see Elisa's 2 articles under that and she has con as well.
Right, so Elisa, Megan, and I are all cons, right?
Yes, but I'm also looking in there and I can't see Davis. Let me see because she would be the last one.
It's for argument. It says on planning log 1, it says the people that are for, which would be pro,
Yeah.
is me, Sarah, and Tina.
Sorry, I guess I lost connection.
And
That's
then
okay.
against is Megan, Elisa, and Stacy.
Okay, she just didn't put it on here, so
Right.
maybe that's why I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah, she just didn't type it so she was pro. Okay.
The heck?
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do 2 separate chats. And then I have the two separate argument documents.
Mm-hmm.
And we can add our information there for the prover. And I think it's a good idea, like Stacy had to kind of have like that timeline. Is there a time that works for you guys?
Either time works for me if we want to say tomorrow night or Friday.
Okay.
We could say tomorrow.
Let's shoot for tomorrow. If it doesn't happen, let's at least have it by Friday.
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna go.
Did you invite us to those documents already?
Not yet.
Okay,
I'm about to do
fine. I
that.
just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. Okay. So yeah, I think tomorrow night's fine.
Okay. Let me share these with you guys.
Okay. I just created the con group chat.
Okay.
So did you get a?
Yeah, I see it right here.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, I got it.
Oh wait, a separate chat you said?
Yes, I think.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna share with you guys both of the pro and con. That way we can already go ahead and kind of see
Okay.
Sure.
and just add everybody there. Sorry, I'm having to go through and copy and paste email. A little bit faster. Okay, I just shared the pro, so I'm about to share the con now too. Sorry guys, I have like 1,500 links opened up on my computer. I have to like switch back and forth between all of them. Okay, so I shared the con, and now I'll share like the actual like main debate outline, where we'll combine everything.
Okay.
Okay. That should be everything shared. You guys just let me know.
I think I got it.
I got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I got them all.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think I got the. Did you say you started a new chat in Google Hangouts?
I haven't started that yet. I was
Oh,
just sharing all of the argument, different Word documents.
Sounds good.
But we can do a new one too. Here. We have. All right. Okay. I created a pro group. Did you get it?
Or wait. Yep, there it is.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So we can start putting in our arguments into the pro and con to work on for the prover, and then we can try to have that done by tomorrow. If not, definitely Friday, and then we can start working on kind of putting those together.
That sounds good.
Does
Yep.
somebody, do we already want to designate who's going to submit it? That way we kind of know like who's going to save it and submit it.
I can submit it. That's fine.
Okay. Just going to make sure that we can already have somebody designated. That way we know. Okay. How does everybody feel? Okay. Do we still have like some confusion? Anything we need to clarify?
Nope.
Got it.
No,
Ah.
I think it's okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. Well, if that's everything, I will get out in a second. Oh my gosh. Get out, Drew. Sorry, that would be my little brother. He wants me to move my car out of the driveway so he can play basketball. And I told him he had to wait 5 minutes. So he's freaking out.
This is my dog. It's fine. We've all got distractions.
Aw, so cute. All right. If that's everything, then I think we're probably good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And if there are like any questions, just type in the group chat and we can try to help answer.
Sounds good.
So,
All right, sounds good.
all right.
Smart.
And I will post this onto the discussion board, like this video with the link. That way she can come in and be able to see it. Because I guess that's what she wants, is to post it in the discussion part.
Okay.
That way
Okay.
she can look at it.
All right.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
And then,
Sounds good.
and then are we just going to, within our Google chat pro-con, are we just going to update the girls who weren't here tonight, like individually that way to let them know what the plan is?
Do we want to send just like an email or do you want to do chat? I think chat might be a little easier and faster. Because
Yeah.
I feel like they might look at it a bit more.
Yeah, and we've already started the group, so it should be fairly easy. We'll just try to update them on what the decision is and when the due dates are, and then hopefully they won't have too many questions.
Yeah, hopefully. It's
All this
it's a little confusing even for like even after being here and reading everything. I'm still a little kind of like,
Right.
how is
think
this
you're
gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll turn out okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Alrighty,
Sounds
everyone have a
good.
good night.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.